Adding meditation to your lifestyle can at first seem daunting, but there are several things you can do to make it easier. One is having a solid positive attitude about it. One idea is to think that it is, quote, my time, unquote. That means my time is jealously guarded against all kinds of other things that are going to interfere, little jobs, other things that can come up to take you away from your meditation. Don't let anything interfere with it because it's my time. You can also set up a number of cues, and I'm going to talk about those a bit extensively. First of all, your physical layout. You should try to have your meditation when you're starting out in the same place so that you become accustomed to it. It should be a quiet place, not bright, limited distractions. You want to know where your focal point is. When doing your meditation, you'll want to choose a focal point. A common focal point is just between and above the eyes and inside, as it were. Some people call it the third eye. And that's for people who may have a little bit more of an intellectual bent. If you're a bit more of an emotional person, you would pick the heart center, which is just sort of central to the chest. You're probably going to want to have a mat and a pad to sit on, and I'll talk a bit about that a little later. And maybe something to focus on. It can be an object. I say that because a lot of people start their meditation practice with their eyes open. So it's okay to start with some kind of object that you can focus on. Many people talk about a candle flame, but I find that a candle flame can be a little bit hard on the eyes, and something a little bit less bright would be useful. You can find a different place. A plant is good. And also, where are you going to sit? Well, as I said, you're going to sit on a mat with a pad in a cross-legged position. But many people aren't good with a cross-legged position. It's kind of hard on their hips or their knees. And so a chair is fine. And in that case, you can have your object sitting before you. And that'll work just fine. If you're traveling, or if you like to do your meditation in different places, sometimes it's good to have an object that you can easily move. And that will allow you to sort of have that feeling of familiarity that's going to make your meditation easier. Now, the pad that I talked about, it's good because often when people are sitting down, they have a curvature to their spine, kind of slouch forward. So a pad, if you're sitting a little bit towards the front of the pad, is going to allow you to tilt your pelvis forward so that you can straighten your spine. You want to have your head, your neck, and your spine all in a straight line, and that allows for easier breathing and easier composure, makes meditating a lot easier. Similarly, if you're sitting on a chair, you shouldn't have your back resting against the back of the chair. The chair should be high enough so that your feet can be flat on the ground, not underneath the chair, and your back is straight. And that will work just as good as sitting on the floor. For those of you who have some knee trouble, maybe some kind of a block or a cushion can be put underneath a knee. And also beginners who are not comfortable sitting in a cross-legged position sometimes need a little support for their knees. You can have one on each side until you get a little bit more flexible to get into the final position. Hands are often placed on the knees, whether on a chair or on a cushion on the floor. And it's called the Chin Mudra position. You're kind of doing the OK sign, and your hands can be resting palms up on your knee, or they can be resting in a reverse Chin Mudra. Sometimes people find that a little bit more comfortable for their arms to do it that way. Let's talk a little bit about whether you're going to have your eyes open or closed. As I said at the beginning, a lot of people have trouble with focus at the beginning of learning meditation. So if you're going to be looking at an object, obviously you're going to have your eyes open. And then when you get to the point where you can handle having your eyes closed, you can be looking at or imagining an image of an object, or you can be focusing on your mantra, or way down the line, there's actually nothing there. You're focusing on nothing, and the basic idea of all of this is to quiet the mind. And so we're getting rid of all those loose thoughts that are flying around in the mind. At the beginning of meditation, when we're more at the focus level, the idea is to withdraw the senses. There's a withdrawal of senses, in which case when you begin, you're relaxed. You can hear dogs barking, or you can hear a jet going over, but right at the beginning of the meditation, you're starting to withdraw from the external environmental stimuli and focusing on your focal point, whether it's in the heart center or in the intellectual center between and above the eyes. And so with the eyes closed, the focus is internal. Now, in terms of these thoughts that are going to be coming in and interfering with your focus, this is absolutely normal, and I would say that a very large majority of people who are on the path and trying to get better and better at meditation, they have this issue with the thoughts. Now, the idea is to never ever let that get you down. It's completely normal. Actually, meditation helps you get away from having all these thoughts flying around loose in your mind, and allows you to focus your thinking in a much more effective way. So the idea is to just be aware of these thoughts and just not follow them. Don't go from one thought to the next. If all of a sudden a cow comes into your thoughts, then don't start thinking about milk or about farms or anything like that. Always just return to your focus point. If your eyes are open, it's going to be the object you're looking at. If your eyes are closed, it's going to be the image of an object that you're thinking about, or it's going to be your mantra and what your mantra means. And so after a while, and with practice, you're going to find that the thoughts kind of disappear, and if you're not paying attention to them, they're going to go away. Now, one of the descriptions I've heard of even an advanced yogi who's meditating is they're sitting there on their cushion and they're watching these thoughts kind of bubble up, and they're not really engaging with them, but the thoughts do come up, and so that kind of thing will be around for a while. And it's only the very advanced people following further down the path that are going to be sitting there with nothing else there, totally focused on the one item. And what's happening in the brain then? Well, what's happening is you are stopping a lot of the useless metabolism, these random thoughts. Some people call it monkey brain. You don't want to have monkey brain. I had a difficult meditation today because of monkey brain. If you get rid of these random thoughts, then your brain is actually relaxing. And that's what meditation does. It allows your brain to relax. And also, when the brain relaxes, it's able to do a better job on the thing that you're focusing on. And that's even after meditation. One of the benefits of meditation is to be able to have much clearer thinking about what you want to be thinking about. Now, when you are sitting there in your meditation and these thoughts are coming in, and you suddenly realize, whoa, I'm off the track. I'm looking at these thoughts rather than thinking about my mantra. Then just go back to the mantra. Don't get frustrated. Don't get angry with yourself, because that's just playing into the idea of getting away from you thinking about your mantra, and you're losing your focus. So once you notice you're off the track, just without judgment, go back to your point of focus. So with these guidelines, you should be able to be ready to have a good meditation session. And I'll put together a brief introduction that lasts between 3 to 5 minutes to get you in the meditation. You can have the meditation going for as long as you want. I would suggest that you start slow, maybe 15 minutes, and then 5-minute increments every few weeks until you're going to half an hour. And then once you really get into it, there's really no end to it. You can decide for yourself, because you'll start to be aware of the benefits of meditation. So after some time, you'll enjoy your meditation, and you'll be going for longer and longer.